So let's talk about something for a minute. When a child has to enter foster care, their entire world is just shattered in a single moment. And for so many years, this symbol of that traumatic transition has been something you and I literally use for garbage. This is the story of how one person is trying to change that, one backpack at a time.
That's a quote from Rob Scheer. He's the founder of an organization called Comfort Cases, and he knows this reality intimately because it was his reality. A trash bag wasn't just a bag. It was the first thing the system ever handed him, and it sent a message that was just crystal clear and devastating.
And look, this isn't a small problem we're talking about. Right now in the US alone, there are about 390,000 children in the foster care system. A new child enters that system every 2 minutes. I mean, that's 700 kids a day. And so many of them start this incredibly scary journey with their few possessions thrown into a trash bag. Rob's story really begins when he was 12 years old. After a really rough childhood, he was officially put into foster care. He got maybe 20 minutes to pack up his life before he was taken to what he was praying would be a new, loving home. But when he got there, the first words he heard weren't welcome or we're so glad you're here. No. Instead, he overheard, he doesn't even have any decent clothes in his trash bag. Just a cold judgment. And right then, in that one moment, he felt exactly what that trash bag symbolized, that he was disposable, invisible, that he just didn't matter. For the next few years, he tried so hard to earn his place, but he was never, ever treated like he was a part of the family. Then, on the day he turned 18, the check from the state for his care stopped coming. So his foster parents handed him that same trash bag, now with his clothes in it, and just told him to go. He was instantly homeless. And what's just so heartbreaking about this is that Rob's experience, well, it's not unique at all. It's a systemic crisis. Every single year, about 23,000 kids age out of the foster care system. And the statistics they're up against, they're just grim. I mean, the odds are just completely stacked against them from the very beginning. Only about 54% of kids in foster care will actually graduate from high school. Rob was absolutely determined to be in that 54%. And when you look at higher education, the numbers get even worse. It's just bleak. A tiny, tiny fraction, just 3%, of former foster youth will go on to get a 4-year college degree. The system just doesn't prepare them for that kind of success. And this next one, this is tough. Within just 24 hours of aging out of the system, a shocking 70% of these young adults become homeless. Just like Rob did. They're given no safety net, no transition plan, absolutely no support. But even though he was homeless his senior year of high school, sleeping in libraries, abandoned buildings, Rob was just determined. He refused to become another statistic. He decided he was going to give it everything he had. He actually made it to graduation day. He had to borrow a cap and gown. And as he walked across that stage, he heard his name called. And then just silence. Nothing. No one clapped, no one cheered. That trash bag, that message, it had done its job. It had made him feel completely and utterly invisible. But you know what? That moment of invisibility, it lit a fire in him. He joined the US Navy because, well, he was hungry and he wanted a future. After that, he worked his way up and built a really successful career as a banker. But his ultimate goal, the one thing he wanted more than anything else, was to become a dad. So, years later, Rob and his husband decided they were going to adopt from the foster care system. They were finally going to build that family he had always dreamed of. But when their first children showed up at their home, his past just came rushing right back. Standing right there at his front door were his brand new son and daughter, just 2 and 4 years old. And in their hands, they were carrying the few things they owned in trash bags. He was just floored. How could it be? After all these years, how had absolutely nothing changed? But the real turning point, the moment that sparked it all, came a little while later. Rob bought his daughter, Amaya, some new nightgowns. She put one on, did a little turn, and just smiled for the very first time. And when he asked her why, she said, "Mr. Rob, I've never owned a new pair of pajamas before." And that was it, right there. That was the moment Comfort Cases was born. Rob just realized he could not stand by while children were being told day in and day out that they weren't worthy of basic dignity. So he and his family, they decided to do something about it. And it all started with a simple backpack.
You see, a comfort case is so much more than just a bag. It's packed with brand new pajamas, a toothbrush, soap, a book, a stuffed animal for comfort, and a cozy blanket. In fact, his son insisted they had to include the blanket, saying every time they wrap themselves up in their blankie, they know we love them.
And the response just proved how massive the need really was. What started as this little family project has just exploded. Comfort Cases, which is 96% volunteer run, has now delivered over 265,000 of these cases to children in all 50 states, Washington, D.C., and Puerto Rico. And here's something else that's pretty remarkable: the way it's funded. Comfort Cases takes zero federal or state money. It's powered almost entirely by individual donors, people just like you and me, often giving just a few dollars at a time. It is a true grassroots community effort. This entire story, it really brings up a much bigger question, doesn't it? This isn't about those kids over there in the system. It's about a fundamental shift in how we see our role in all of their lives. Rob is so passionate about changing our language. He insists that we stop labeling kids as foster children because that defines them by their trauma. Instead, he says they are children who are experiencing foster care. They are children first and always. And at the end of the day, this isn't just a government problem or a social worker's problem. It's our problem. It's a societal one. You know, as Nelson Mandela said, we as a society are judged by the way we treat our children. That's the ultimate measure of our humanity. Rob Scheer's story proves that one person really can start a movement to restore dignity. But he's very clear on one thing. These children don't belong to him, and they don't belong to any one person. They belong to us, to all of us. So the real question is, what are we, as a community, doing to prove that we actually believe that?